Yeah. So again, that was explanation. So today's session starts from here, and these are two general questions. What if there were no language? And what function does language play in daily life? And we talked about this last week when we say danke, thank you, shukriya, shukran, merci, nagodi, okay, gracias. So all this, okay, and many more. So today, let's focus on this. Again, let's focus on this. So today we are talking about the language function or functions of language, okay, or language functions. Question number one that raises itself: can language be used to talk about itself? So this is a broad question or question. Then what does Halliday, Michael Halliday, we have two scholars, Michael Halliday and his spouse, Ruqayya Hassan, okay? So what does Halliday mean by metafunctions of language? Question number three, how does this sociological use of language is a sine qua non in establishing and maintaining people's status in a given society? Okay, let's see. These are three big questions, and we need to answer them, or questions, and we need to find clear-cut answers to these questions. Metafunctions of language proposed by, this is Michael Halliday or Mark Halliday, Michael, the British linguist. He's a British linguist, but he lived in Australia with his wife, Ruqayya, and both of them, they came up with one of the interesting books, I think, in the linguistics that called cohesion. So in discourse analysis, they came up with a so-called cohesion, which is a volume, very big volume. So he proposed that the metafunctions can be used in ideational function, ideational. So it stems from an idea, ideational function, a model of experience, as well as logical relations in a personal or interpersonal function. So to establish and maintain social relationships. Then textual function to create relevance, context, and contextuality, and so on. So when it comes to this, let's think about these three meta functions that he came up with, or he coined them. So language functions, again, it could be informative, it could be interpersonal, could be performative, could be emotive, it could be Phatic communion, and it could be recreational, it could be metalingual. So let's delve and dive deep into them one by one. These are seven, sorry. So items that, or functions that we need to talk about them. The first one is called formative. So just like when we say this is a formative session, or informative, sorry, informative session, informative, something that gives us information. So language is used to convey messages, and that's so true. That is to inform somebody of something, some information, like declarative sentences, okay? Declarative sentence, for example, if you are in a room and you are not aware of whether the sun rises or not, and you ask someone, so he told you that the sun rose, okay? So now this is called a declarative sentence, okay? And are employed to realize the function. Then one of the features of this function is the preposition has the true or false value. So when we put it in the scale of true or false, okay? Just like the virtue, good or bad, right or wrong, okay? So when we say water boils at 90 centigrade, that's false. Why? Because water boils at 100 centigrade. Then number two is interpersonal or interpersonal. By far the most important sociological use of language. So here we are talking about two terms. We are just sneaking toward the so-called sociolinguistics, right? Because we are talking about sociological use of language. So sociology and language. So when we move, just make them together, they're gonna give us sociolinguistics, and by which people establish and maintain their status in a society, polite expressions, humble words, expression of identity, and so on. So later we'll talk in details about this. For example, the ways in which people address others, the relationship between the addresser and the addressee, like dear sir, dear professor, dear John. So dear sir, dear professor, it shows that the status, the rank, the socio status and the socioeconomic status of the others, right? So when you are saying dear sir, it means that you don't know him, as if when you are writing an email or writing a letter, etc. And refers to themselves like yours, your obedient servant, indicate the various grades of interpersonal relation, right? And this typically when you are sending an official email from unofficial email or formal email from an informal email. In our personal relation, in the framework of functional grammar, is concerned with the interaction between the addressee and the addressee, interlocutor and interlocutee, in other words. And these terms are used by Halliday himself. Interlocutor and interlocutee, addresser and addressee, anaphora, cataphora, all these terminologies are just allocated or assigned to him because he is the one that using them, okay, in the discourse situation, and the addresser's attitude toward what he speaks or writes about. Again, we're still under the big umbrella of language function. Let me just go back to it. So the interpersonal function of language is the function to establish, maintain, and specify relations between members of societies. This is by Halliday, or Michael Halliday. Then we have a performative function, which comes from the noun performance as an adjective. Yes, this concept originates from the philosophical study of Language, represented by Austin, Surrey, the two linguists, whose series now forms the backbone of pragmatics. For example, and I think I read this in their book, I now declare the meeting open. So it shows that the rank, the status, and the idea of between the addresser, and the meeting open. So as if you are declaring a war, but we know that who is declaring the war, right? And so on. Or I bet you £2 it will rain tomorrow. So here again, there's a pragmatic relation, and here the pronoun you, because pragmatics mainly or primarily about what do we mean by X and what does X mean. So if we say what does X mean is semantics, right? So just like giving the definition. But what do you mean by X? So here's pragmatic. A performative function is to change the social status of persons, as in marriage, ceremonies, and as we know that marriage could be divided into two in English, and now there are many forms, but the well-known forms are civil marriage and religious one, right? So the sentencing of criminals, okay, the blessing of children or baptism, okay. The naming is called baptism. The naming of a ship at launching ceremony, and the cursing of enemies, formal, ritualized, and so on. This is a guide from Ning. Okay, here, this picture, it shows us, think about it in just some seconds. Yes, this is emotive from emotion, which is an adjective, emotive function. To change the emotional status of an audience for or against someone or something, swear words, obscenities, involuntary verbal reactions to beautiful art or scenery, conventional word phrases like, oh my God, damn it, what a sight, wow. And wow, it's connotates or linked with the idea of when you are thrilled, when you are happy, when you are over the moon, right? When you feel over the moon. But Alice is the opposite, on the contrary, when you hear bad news, right? So wow, when you hear good news and so on, like oh, okay, wow, gosh, etc. So these are emotional status. A small talk, and from the first picture here, we can understand something. So what comes across our mind when we have this kind of pictures, okay? Because there are two are having conversation, but conversation on or over. There is football for male and female, because nowadays there's no linguistic biases between them. And coffee, the weather, etc. So these are called small talk. So what is it? What do we mean by small talk? Or what comes across our mind when we utter the word or the phrase small talk? So small talk, we have Phatic communion. So it refers to social interaction of language, social interaction of language. It's small, like just the word itself, as indicates, seemingly meaningless topic to maintain a comfortable relation between people without involving any factual content, health, weather. These are two examples. And I think that somebody told me, I'm not so sure about it, when you are in a train, you need to break this kind of silence. So you need to break the ice. And the idea of this word comes from William Shakespeare, but I'm not so sure about it. So here you need to start small topics. You are in a train, in a plane, in a bus, whatsoever. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Dr. Sami.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think Dr. Sam is speaking. Dr. Sami, can you hear me? Okay, let's go on. Expressions that help define and maintain interpersonal relationships or relations such as slangs, jokes, jargons, ritualistic exchange, and switches to social and regional dialects. So here, let's look at this from the bird's eye view. Okay, so when it comes to slangs, okay, nowadays we know that slangs are used among, I'm not gonna say higher class or upper classes, lower classes, but the communities, right? And jokes as well, no? But jargons, these are terminologies used within different fields. So doctors, they have their own jargon, okay, when they are talking. So imagine that if you are a doctor, and God forbid, if you have one of your patients, he is got or experienced cancer. So instead of telling him that he or your other doctor in front of him, you're gonna tell the other doctor that he the symptoms and signs shows that he has cancer. So instead of saying he has cancer in front of him, you can say he has a CA. So these are jargons. They are used primarily or essentially among doctors. Then we have ritual exchanges, different religious issues, and switches to social and regional dialects. So imagine that the Arabic language is standard. Okay, Arabic language is standard, but we have sub-dialects. Okay, so and this is a science called dialectology, whereby different regional areas they have their own dialect. If you talk about Lebanon, so they have their own dialect. And if you talk about those who are Moroccan in one of the MENA's country, okay, they have their own language, they have their own dialect, sorry, within Arabic. So they have Persia in Tunisia, they have Bizaf in Algeria, and in Sudan we have Zol, and in Jordan we have Zalama, and so on, right? So these are variation or dialectal regional dialects or dialectology. Then we still talking about Phatic communion, greetings, farewells and comments on weather in English and on closing. For instance, good morning, God bless you, nice day, hello. This is greetings. So the greetings, when you say hi, okay, is common core, accepted. When you say hello, is formal. And when you say hey, is less formal or informal, right? So when you say how do you do, it's more formal. And when you say hi, ciao, okay, etc., these are showing that the status of those who you are talking to. And comments and compliments are totally different from culture to culture. So we need to be culturally sensitive towards other. If you are commenting on someone's clothes, make sure that they will not, or they are not gonna understand you in a way that, sorry, they misunderstand you. Okay. Recreational, actually, spending time is recreational, just fun time. To use language for shared joy, such as babies babbling and chanters chanting, verbal dwelling, poetry writing, etc. So all these are recreational function or language recreational function. Dr. Sami, can you help me? Dr. Sami. Dr. Sami Sulaiman. Mr. Muhammad. Hello. Mr. Muhammad. Yes, can you just please mute him?
I can't because I'm not a co-host.
Yes, I can hear you, but I am in a social outside.
Dr. Vernon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't because I'm not the co-host.
Oh, I'm so sorry, bro. I thought that, okay. Let me just stop here. Okay, so let's, yeah, we talk about this actually. Yes, now we are talking about metalingual function. Language can be used to talk about itself, and that was the first question that we just posted there, metalanguage or metalingual. Certain kinds of linguistic science, we have linguistic science or terms, okay? And we don't have linguistic symptoms, right? For the analysis and description of particular studies, like proving, formal, non-technical, old-fashioned, countable, uncountable, etc., or uncountable, uncountable, etc. So all these are metalingual function. And if you see here, this is a summary for the functions, okay, or meta functions of language. We have formative, like hello, how do you do, etc., and we talk about that. We have inner inner or interpersonal or personal, performative, emotive, Phatic, recreational, and the last one is Metalingual. Introducing linguistics, the scopes of linguistics, and I think this will be, sorry. Yes, thank you very much indeed for coming here. I think that we are coming to the end of this webinar of today's session, the webinar number 9, or yes, number 9. And next week, inshallah, if I'm alive, we'll be talking about the scopes of linguistics. So before we leave this, just a game, I do believe in edutaining games, and we talk about that, or yes, edutainment. So let me share again my screen with you. Let me end this webinar, and I would like to share this game with you, a Kahoot game. So hopefully time will allow us to talk about that. Do you have any questions, or we're gonna leave the questions at the end or at the tail of the presentation or the webinar after the game? So does anybody have a question or question? Do you have any question or questions? Or is there? So because we are going to start a game, and I'm so delighted that we can play this game this time, if we can, and if it's possible. Thank you, Deborah. This is really very wonderful question. So when you are talking about expressive, so here it does mean that we are still talking about the interpersonal. So when you are talking about the interpersonal relations, so the way that you talk, okay, the way that you express yourself. And this shows that, it shows, in other words, it shows that the relationship between the address and the addressee. Who am I talking to? Okay. So thank you. It's really wonderful question. I'm glad that you raised it. Can you just please share or join? Sorry, join this. Let me just hello. Yes, can you share, just try to share this link with you all, with all of you. Hello. Yes, can you share Just try to share this link with you all. Hello, bro. Yes. Okay, here we go. Yes. Hello. Can you please join? Hello.
Yes.
Can we have players? If you please, just I need only 3. I think we are 4. So the 3 of you, if you can join, is gonna be wonderful. We have Deborah, Muhammad, and we have, I think we have 4, or including me, we are 4. Dr. Sami, and Deborah, and yes, Mr. Muhammad, hello.
Yes.
Can you please just scan this QR code, or you can use a link and just use this PIN pin code 7703792. Hello.
Yes, Dr. Agram.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Please, Deborah, Muhammad, and Dr. Sami Abul Qasim.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes. So can you scan this QR code?
Scan it. Ah, we should follow Bolo. No, Bolo, yeah, break it. Oh.
It seems that I couldn't scan this code.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can use the link
Let
to
me
join.
let me
You can't
try
scan.
to reload it. Will it be fine? Because I'm afraid that the code will be changed. This is what I'm afraid of. Yes, now this is another code. Is 1610015. And even our friends on Facebook, they can join, by the way. They can use this QR code, or they can just join online, www.kahooted.it. Let me share this again. Mr. Muhammad.
Yes.
I think that we are going to delay this or postpone this game for next week.
Next week?
Yeah, because we don't have players. We are only 4, so for this reason, we're gonna postpone it for next week.
Hey, no problem.
Okay. Let's leave this here, and this gonna be for next week. So now, let me just let me stop sharing. Yes, thank you very much for all of you for attending this webinar with us today, or with me this evening. I'm so delighted that you are here and you made it. Yeah, some of you, they were so busy during this morning in some countries and afternoon in some countries and evening, late night, because we have a good friend of mine by the name of Kenneth. So Kenneth, now he is in Thailand, and this time is 1 o'clock a.m. So he can attend, or he apologized for attending the meetings. But I'm so delighted that you made it today, or you made it this evening. Hopefully that we introduce some insights, we add something new, or just we are trying to contribute something in a way of making language and linguistics for those who are language learners, okay, so easy, handy, accessible on the social media, or the media generally, and social media particularly, available for them. This is what I would like to try to do throughout my work, or throughout my career. This is what I would like to send, and this is the message that I would like to convey, because we would like to make it handy for those who are learning language, or languages learners. Okay, so do you have any questions? Do you have any comment? Dr. Sami, Deborah, Dr. Muhammad, yes, all of you. I'm so delighted. Hello?
Yes, Dr. Akram.
Yes. Do you have any questions, comment, like, thumbs up, thumb down? Okay. Yes, and
I
Dr.
guess.
Samuel as well, and Deborah from Africa Elta. I'm so delighted that you are here today.
Thank you so much. It was quite insightful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Just I'm glad that you made it today. And I'm very curious, intellectually curious about the webinar, the session. What do you like? And yes, if you have any comment about it, if you have any questions, Q&A is open. So this is your call. The call is yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're most welcome. Yes. Yes, Dr. Sami. Dr. Sami Abul Qasim. Can you hear me?
Dr. Akram,
Yes.
don't forget the AI companion.
Oh, thanks a lot, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Because 1 minute to go, by the way, 1 minute to go.
Really?
Thank you. A short summary. Thanks a bunch, by the way. Bagillion thanks, bro.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I think there's 1 minute to go, and we're gonna continue or resume our webinar for next week. So thank you again. I feel over the moon. I'm so delighted that all of you are here, and your presence is really value added for me and for this presentation, because this gives me incentive, motivation to carry on the mission and the message that I'm working on. So I'm really so delighted, so happy, so thrilled, grateful for your presence, for your support, for unstinting support, by the way, and lavish support for making this program successful, because you are the people who are making this work done, light, wonderful, meaningful, by the way. So I'm so delighted that you are here, and hopefully to see you next week on the same time, each Thursday. We have this webinar. So let me wrap up with that. Thank you, Brother Muhammad. Thank you, Ms. Deborah, for coming here. And send my regards, my warm regards to all Nigerian friends, by the way. We have a lot of strong ties with our friends in Nigeria, starting from our Uncle Wallace Schwenker. Send my regards to all of them, okay? And I think that today I wrote something about Nigeria and the iconic writer, okay, literary writer, Chinua Achebe, in his novel Things Fall Apart, and I share this with you. So thank you again. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad, for really making my day today, and Deborah, for your presence. Your presence is really invaluable.
You are welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Have a blessed night. Yeah, in South Africa, there's a saying says that if you are leaving, they say to you that go well, and if you are staying, stay well. So I'm saying
Okay.
go well
Go
and stay well, and be safe, be blessed, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you
Yes. Assalamu
so
alaikum.
much. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.